Hi, in case you've not met me, my name is Fagbeja, and I am passionate about helping women get the results that they want out of life, take charge of their lives, no matter what circumstances they find themselves or what life has taken them through. I can trace my passion for women back to when I was much younger. We lived with our grandparents growing up, and my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was a deaconess in the Baptist church, and we would have a lot of women come through the house to share their personal problems with her. Now, I was a quiet child. I most likely had my head buried in a book in a corner, and so nobody paid much attention to me. But I would often catch snippets of the conversations that my grandmother was having with these women, and somehow it birthed this righteous indignation in me. I was so upset by the fact that women always seem to get the shorter end of the stick. I didn't even understand or realize the extent to which this anger had developed until I was about 11, when I made a decision to myself. I still remember that day. I was talking to myself. There was no one else there, and I was just telling myself, I'm never going to get married. I'm going to have 2 kids, maybe for the same man, maybe not. But I was going to devote myself to a career as an accountant in the World Bank. That was because I thought the World Bank was the biggest bank in the world at the time. So I was going to go into the World Bank, and I didn't want to have anything to do with men. The funny thing is, at the time, I didn't even know how people got pregnant, so to speak. About a year after I'd taken this decision, I remember sitting with a group of friends, and we were in the boarding school, and one of them was telling us how her cousin got pregnant from using the toilet after one of her uncles, and we all believed her. So I was that naive, but I had this deep-seated passion or this deep-seated anger that had made me take a decision, a life-changing decision that I didn't even quite understand. As I grew older, I became serious with my Christianity. I was in university and I was about 17 when I began to take my Christianity serious. And at that point, I realized that my stance was not in tandem with scriptures, and so I decided to temper it down. But what happened was that I now went on another extreme, and so I went through a number of circumstances that I didn't have to go through. Now, I'm not the girl that can sit here and tell you that, oh, you know what, I've always been good, since I was young. I'm the girl that went through a journey of several near misses. I could easily have been the girl who got pregnant out of wedlock. I could easily have been the girl who got used and dumped by several guys. But God kept me through that journey. As I grew older, I realized what a lack of emotional strength, a lack of mental resilience, a lack of mentorship did to me. And sometime in my life, I was asking God, and I was saying, Lord, why did you let these things happen to me? Why am I suffering so much when all I've ever tried to be is a good person? And the Lord began to show me how He took me on this journey so that I'll be able to help others. I realized that so many young ladies are without mentorship. Back in my day, about 25 years ago, mentorship wasn't a big thing like it is today. But I realized how many young ladies really lack mentorship and guidance in life. I didn't really have anyone I could talk to, so I fumbled through life, hence the several near misses. I'm grateful for where I am, but it has been an eventful life for me to get to where I am today. At some point, God showed me that He needed me to help other women on their life's journey so that they don't make the same mistakes. I realized that many of the things that women go through in life, many of the circumstances that we find ourselves in as we grow older, are the result of decisions or indecisions or knowledge that we lacked when we were a lot younger. So there are 2 stages of women I've identified. There are the pre-adult stage women, and these are usually women from like age 20 to about 30. These are women who are in that stage of life where they can make independent decisions, but they are not quite saddled down with the full responsibility of life. And then there are the full adult stage women. These are women who are from age 30 up usually who find themselves saddled with the full responsibility of life. They've taken a lot of decisions and now they're living in the full consequences of the decisions that they made when they were younger. They are married, they have children, and they have other responsibilities. So it's not quite easy to change things around. But women who are in the pre-adult stage still have the opportunity to make a lot of changes to the circumstances in which they find themselves. And so for the women in the pre-adult stage, what they really need is mentorship. They need to hear what women go through and what could have led to these circumstances and why they are in those problems. For women who are in the full adult stage, it doesn't mean that because you're in difficult circumstances, things are over, you cannot make a change. No, it just means that the changes may not be as easy and the decisions may not be as easy to make. However, one thing I've learned is that nothing is impossible. No situation is insurmountable. So even if you find yourself in circumstances that are not too pleasant, where you're not having it easy, I know that by wisdom and with the help of God, you can make a turnaround and take charge of your life. You can get the results that you want out of life, and that is my goal, to help every woman I come across either take the right decisions before she gets saddled with responsibilities, or if she has already found herself in those circumstances, to see the light and take the necessary steps she needs to be able to make a change and take charge of her life and live her life to the full extent that God made her for. This is what I'm about, this is what I do, and this is why I've created this channel. It is my belief that no woman should wake up at 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 and find out that her life is a mess. You can start today to make that change. I invite you to go with me on this journey. I will share personal experiences. I will share the experiences of others. I will share educative and informative videos that will give you the tools you need to take charge of your life and get to the place where God created for you. If you have a story you would like to share, whether anonymously or in person, you can find my email address in the description below and get in touch so that we can set that up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video when I post. Cheerio!